Okay, hey everyone. Today we're going to continue with our journey to make sense about speed. And let's recall the basic formula for speed. For speed, the formula is distance over time. So it is considered as a rate where we look at how much distance we can cover in a unit time. So for example, how many km within 1 hour, or how many meters that we travel per second. And the further we go, or the shorter time it takes, will tell us that if we were moving at a faster speed. Okay, so with this in mind, let us take a look at the class discussion in page 65. All right, in page 65, question 1, we have a picture here showing us a speed limit in a silver zone in Singapore. And when Ali drove along this road, he was traveling at 30 meters per second. And should he continue driving at this speed? So the thing about 30 meters per second is the units over here is 30 meters per second. And if you were to look at this, and if you were to, oh, okay, where is this? Okay, so if you were to look at this sign over here, this 40 over here, all right, this one over here is actually in kilometers per hour. So in order for us to do a very good comparison, let us convert this into kilometers per hour. So I'm going to start off with 30 meters per second, right? So, and I'm going to rewrite this as 30 meters, right, in 1 second, because this is what it means, right? And do you remember how do we convert this? We convert this using, so 30 meters to kilometers, we're going to divide by 1000. Seconds to 1 hour, we're going to divide to minutes, and we're going to divide to hours. Okay, so with this, I'm going to key everything into my calculator. So 30 divided by 1000 on top, 1 divided by 60 divided by 60 on top. So now the speed that the person is traveling is 108 kilometers per hour. So you can see 30 meters per second actually is equivalent to 108 kilometers per hour, which is actually very, very fast. Okay, so the thing that you need to take note is, even though the number itself it shows is 30, and when you compare to the sign over here which is 40, it does not mean that it is 40 meters per second. We have to convert it to the same units for us to compare and contrast, and to see that actually there's a difference in this one over here. So for this case, it will be very fast. So the answer is he should not. He is too fast. He is too fast. Right? So this ends our question 1. And now let's take a look at the second question over here in page 65 as well. So we have a greatest human running speed on record is 12.4 meters per second. All right, and the record is held by this person called Usain Bolt, who attained this speed in a 100-meter sprint in 2009, and he took 9.58 seconds to complete this sprint. So the question asks us to calculate Usain Bolt's average speed during the sprint and explain why the answer is not 12.4. Alright, sure. So we have some kind of difference over here. So let's calculate that average speed. Yeah, so average speed actually, right, is also on the idea of total distance and time, but is now total distance divided by the total time taken. So we are looking at the average speed across the entire event. So what is the distance that he ran? He ran for 100 meters, and the time that he took was 9.58 seconds. Alright, so let's key this into our calculator. So over here I have in 3SF 10.4 meters per second in 3SF. And then this thing is not 12.4 meters per second. So you see over here there is actually a difference, right, between 10.4 and 12.4. So now this 10.4 over here is what we call average speed. Okay, so this one over here, this 10.4 is the average speed, which actually means, right, the speed across the entire journey. right? So if we were to use one speed to describe the entire journey, this would be called the average speed, the speed across the entire journey. Now, so however, this 12.4, what is this 12.4 actually? This is what we call instantaneous speed. So you have to be a bit aware between these two terms. So what is an instantaneous speed? It is the speed at a particular moment. Particular moment, or it is the speed at a particular instant. So it means that at that very moment or that very instant, um, Usain Bolt is traveling at this speed. So he achieved that top speed, which is 12.4 meter per second, at a particular instant, not the entire journey, but at a particular moment. That is when he hit that top speed. Alright, he hit that record-breaking speed. He cannot be possibly running the record-breaking speed throughout the entire 100 meters because he needs to pick up the speed in the beginning, right? So the thing is that there's a difference between the concept of average speed and instantaneous speed that you need to be aware of when we talk about speeds. And most of the speeds when we calculate distance over time is actually the average speed across the entire journey. So we have to be careful with this term over here. Alright? So number two is, so number two, we are answering number two over here, where we introduce the concept between instantaneous speed and the average speed. Okay, so let's take a look at the last one over here, where we talk about the maximum speed of a zebra, right? Which is whether is it faster than Usain Bolt or not. So okay, so the maximum speed of a zebra on record is 40 miles per hour, right? So 1 mile is approximately this. Okay, so let's calculate and see. So we have 40 miles per hour. So let us convert this to 40 miles across 1 hour. And to make it very nice to compare with the one above, we need to compare with meters and seconds, right? So let us start with 40 miles. So 40 miles, we can multiply by 1.6, which is the information given up here, right? 1 mile is approximately 1.6 km over here, right? This sentence over here, right? So I multiply to km, and from km to meters, I'm going to multiply by 1000, right? So this will give me meters over here. Now what about the hour? The hour, I have 1 hour. Change this to minutes times 60 and change this to seconds times 60. And below, I will have a second over here. So with this, I will have a magical number 17.778 meters per second. So if you were to compare this number and the average speed of 10.4, of course the zebra will be faster. Okay, even if you compare the max speed, right, this one and 12.4, right, comparing maximum speeds, the zebra is definitely faster than Usain Bolt. Okay, so there we go. The idea of instantaneous speed, average speed, and to compare speeds by changing to the same units. So this ends our video for the basic ideas for speed. So thank you, and pay close attention for what's to come next.